Hey everyone, I'm just going to wait for everyone to come in and also make sure I go live on some other places too. So hold on there with me. Yes, I think we are live. So I'm going to give it just a tiny bit more so people have a chance to log in and join us. But I want to welcome everyone who's already here to this live Q&A. And let me just check so that I can also follow all the comments along here. Hold on. I'm on my own, so today I'm going to have to stay on top of it and all the comments coming in as well. And let me see. There we go. So now I think I'm ready for you guys. Hold on, give it one more sec. Okay. But anyway, so we're here today for this live. Oh, this one isn't going live. Sorry, there. Technology, right? It's there we go. Let me just go back to the right window and then now it's all streaming, so we're all good. So welcome everyone, and hopefully people keep coming in. Yeah, so you are probably here because you have taken my mini course, which ended yesterday, from design concept to manufacture. And hopefully you really enjoyed it, learned a lot, and took away a lot of information and knowledge when it comes to how to start your design concept and how to think about it and how to then take it further on in order to find a manufacturer and what you need when you find a manufacturer. And before then, we also had the challenge, how to find the perfect manufacturing partner. So for anyone or everyone who's here and who's taken part in one of those or both, congratulations. I'm really happy that you did. And I'm sure it will be very useful. And I hope you got lots of takeaways. And I hope that today you're here with lots of questions for me so that I can help you grow and continue your journey. And just some admin before we dig in. If you are on the website, which you see above there, then if you want to ask a question live, please use the link next to the video where it says join Q&A so that you can come into the live stream where you can ask the questions. Since we're live, your questions will be answered live here now by me. So who am I? So I'm Annette Lennerup, and I have been in the fashion industry for the past 20 years. For the past 10, I have worked and guided startup brands and smaller brands. So my speciality is really how to take your design concepts onto being a brand when you're not established and a large brand yet. So I work a lot with production and design, but I also offer mentoring. And since I've had my own brand and I've also worked with all of these brands and seen the wins and the failures, and I've also obviously running my own business for the past 10 years, I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to sales and marketing. So I also mentor with this. But we are not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about production. And but if you have any questions that are related to anything involved with the starting a fashion brand, and obviously please ask me and I will be happy to answer them. But yeah, mainly production, because that's what we've been discussing in the mini course. And I have got some questions already, but if you're here and you want to ask a question, so please just pop them in the comments and I will answer. But I did get a few emails, which is great, so that I can start off and answer them. And one came from Ingrid, and she has taken the mini course from manufacturing, from design concept to manufacture. And she mentioned that in one of the lessons, I mentioned that startups shouldn't create a too wide a range of sizes, and to be careful with the amount of pieces produced per size. So her question is in relationship to this. So her question is, I'm going to read it. What is, if any, your recommendation of size ranges, extra small to extra large, and pieces per design per size for a first production? This is a great question, because I am sure that a lot of you who are starting out finding manufacturers and starting out with your design concept, you might have gotten your design tech packs ready, you're ready to go, you have a size specification, but yeah, what happens then? So that's a very, very, very solid question. And what I would say with this is, one, it will depend on your market. So you need to review what your market is and who is your market. But if it's ladies wear or menswear, and we're talking now just general, nothing specialized, like maternity wear or whatever it could be, think of how many pieces you will sell of each, of course, but there is not usually as many who buy the absolute end of both ranges, so extra small or extra large. Therefore, I would order less extra small and less extra large. So just to do it extra small to large, say, just to do a very basic math, but maybe you order 15% there, and then you order 25% in more in the middle ranges of the different sizes, and you have to like do the maths. And will you target a younger audience, and how is that younger audience in the target market you have? Are they more slim, or are they more on the chubby side? That will also give you an idea if you should order more extra smalls or more extra large. But the biggest sales in any fashion company is usually the mid ranges and the mid sizes, because most of us, I mean, you just have to go out on the street and look around you. The sizes you see on the average person is the sizes that sell the best. But I would say be very careful and really do your due diligence and think about who the customer is. It's like we keep saying this and we keep coming back to this, but it is very important to think about who the customer and the target market is. And that's where you figure out what sizes you order. When you're a small brand and you're ordering small ranges, usually, from my experience and the factories I work with, they're very, very flexible with how much quantity you put into each size. But when you're ordering larger quantities, there might be a certain amount you have to do per size for them to be able to work in the factory facility and with the cutting and sewing and everything. So that your factory can help you with. But as a small brand, usually you can order what you see fit. Just checking in here on all the places if there's any comments. But yeah, so as a small brand, ask your factory, but also then think about what you think you're going to sell and what is your minimums. I mean, it will depend very much on your minimums, what sizes you do. If you have managed to get small minimums such as 20, 30 pieces, maybe you should keep your range from small, medium to large, not to overwhelm your factory, and maybe it's easier for them to help you if you ask for this. If you ask for a large range with many sizes, your factory might need you to place larger minimums and more per style. But yeah, mid-ranges is usually, from an experience point of view, what sells the most. And I'm just going to check if there's any other questions out there live, because if you send your question in live, I will make sure I will answer your question. For the ones that have been sent in, I am prioritizing in the order they've come in and the relevance to production and what the things we've been discussing in the mini course. So if your question isn't answered, obviously feel free to reach out to me via email, and I will be happy to answer it there. But let's get on to the next question, if there's no one out there who wants to pop something in the comments. So this is another interesting one, which is related to production and which is related to your whole brand ethos and also sustainability. So this question comes from Karen, and Karen asked, how can you prove or measure your sustainability level? Is there like a process that you can use, and how can I improve on this? So very good question, and it also comes down to you as a brand and transparency you require from everyone in your supply chain. So as a supply chain, you have everything from the sourcing of raw material to the making of your fabrics and trims to the factory who will make the garment for you and you, the vendor. And sustainability is not only using great materials for the environment or more natural materials. Sustainability also comes into the social aspect. How are the workers? How are the workers on the field that pick your cotton? It can be an environmental, how much water is used. So you would need to look at the fabrics you're using and the raw material, and you start from the raw material, and you will have to break it down and figure out where in this chain you can improve. And the more you can improve all the way from raw material and the picking of the cotton, all the way to you hiring staff to help you sell, all of that is the sustainability and the important to look at. There is today actual programs and softwares that can help you track this. I actually spoke to someone a couple of weeks ago who was developing a tracking system, and there are larger, more famous ones where you can track your whole supply chain, like CRM systems, but also that track sustainability. And the guys I was speaking to, I can't remember the company name at the moment, but if anyone is interested, just drop me an email and I will pass you on. But they were literally building a software where you could plug in what raw material you wanted to use and how high your consumption was and all of that, and that it added up and gave you a kind of score. It wasn't an official score, but it was a score that you for yourself as a company can use to track how sustainable you are. And that's also something to think about, like the use of material, and do you get a lot of cuttings when you cut your garments? So keep all these different aspects, and if you want to track it yourself, you're a small brand, obviously you don't want to pay for extra software and you're just starting out. Start by sitting down and writing out from the first thing you can think of. Okay, someone needs to pick. Okay, I need to be in control of that. And either you have to do the hard work, and which can also affect your minimums of going and finding all these people yourself. But that's usually quite hard when you start out because you need to meet minimums in so many places. But you can ask, if you find a manufacturer who will help you buy fabric, maybe you can ask them if they can show you information about the mill. Maybe you can talk to the mill. Do they have certifications? Have they been audited? Which means that a third party has come in and checked that the standards for the people who work there are well, and that they follow laws, etc. So write your list and start, and then go and talk to people. Like I say all the time, communication, right? The building of the relationship. The more you talk to your suppliers, whether it's a fabric supplier or a garment supplier, they will do their best to help you, but it's your responsibility as the brand to be as sustainable and be in control of this. But yeah, that's my advice on that question. And then let's see, I do have a few more, but there's no one sending in questions live as far as I can see. I'm gonna just go back and check here as well. I can see there's quite a few people joining. So anyone there who wants to ask a question, please feel free, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, please pop your comments in the comment field and I'll be happy to answer it. This is your chance, right? If you've been taking my mini course and you have questions or you're just starting to build your brand, ask them and you will be able to grow your business so much faster. Okay, so let's get back to the emailed questions. And the emailed questions, I gave everyone who took the mini course an option to email questions in case they could not be here live with us, because obviously with time zones, it's not always easy nowadays to be in a live. I know that so very well myself. So there will be a replay for everyone who signed up via the special link. So there's still time. If you haven't signed up via the link on the website, and you see the website above there again, sign up and you will get a replay of this as well. So you can go back and listen back. So let's get to the next question so that we get through a few of them. So from Sophie. How much time in advance should I plan from idea to launch? And from idea to launch, it's a long, I would say, do make it longer than you first want. I come across so many brands, and over the past 10 years, I've come across, I don't even know how many brands who always come and say, oh, in 3 months, I want my production. And they haven't even got the concept established yet. It isn't that fast. Unfortunately, the honest truth is that it takes longer than you think. And usually the part that takes quite a lot of time, where most startup brands don't anticipate the time, is actually this design concept, like nailing down your avatar or your customer profile, figuring out what they actually want, and designing the right product. You might have great ideas, but then when it comes back from your designer, maybe you have much more comments, things evolve. Like design is an evolving process before you actually figure out the absolute details. And there's so much that goes into a garment. You need to look at the inside. You need to think of so many aspects. And due to that, actually the part where I feel like most brands that I come across do not put enough into this. They meet you as a designer and they're like, oh, I've got this idea and I just want to have some tech packs and size specifications and send it off to the factory. But then it turns out that they have a lot of ideas and a lot of changes, and things do evolve in the process of discussing it together when you start thinking about the end use. And that's where I would say put a reasonable amount into that. And I can't give you a timeline on that because that is so dependent on you as the brand startup owner and how much you have thought about it before you get the idea and start putting things into motion. But the actual, from your idea set and you're starting your design tech packs to the production is done, I would say count about 6 months. It can be done slightly faster, but it's not recommended. And if you're a startup, things usually take longer because you get a sample, you get a scare. It wasn't as you expected. And the reason for that could be that is perfectly normal procedures, but you as a designer or brand owner, you're not used to that process. You're not used to what's coming back. So say 6 months for the production, and then obviously you need to launch. And you can launch and create everything around your brand at the same time as you're doing your design, tech packs, and size specification, and your sampling, and you go through the production. So you can use those 6 months. What you will need to do is you will need to establish, and this is not just the pretty brand view, right? You need to establish your brand, but that does not only entail like, I've got my brand colors, I've got a picture of my customers, I know roughly who she is, and I've got a website, say, if you want to sell on a website. There's so much more that come into it. Is the communication again, your communication with your customer. You need to establish a relationship, because think of it, you don't just go out and buy from anyone at any time. The more you know something or someone, the more you trust them and the more likely you are to buy. So to launch a brand, you need to consider that and how to reach them, and that you can do via marketing and sales. And there's many sales channels you can go down when it comes to starting a fashion brand. But let's stick to production today, and in another Q&A we can go deeper into sales and marketing for sure. So anyone in the live, just checking in here again. No. So if anyone even has questions to me about what I do and how I work, that is fine too. And I'm just gonna see, so there's no questions on this channel there. Nope. Well, it's good that people pre-think and watch the replay so that I could get some lovely questions. So let me see. Another question, which is very related to what we've discussed in the mini course and also in the challenge for finding a manufacturer, is should I have completed tech packs before approaching manufacturers? And the answer is that your manufacturer can't get started to work with you until this is completed and you have all the relevant documents, which also will include size specifications. You might need a critical path. You should have a target price. But all of this, they can't really start working with you. But as I said earlier, is that you can create the relationship. And I would say that you can reach out as early as you want, because asking people what they do and if they have an interest in working with you and what they can offer you, that's just creating a great relationship. I feel like today we're so scared of picking up the phone, calling someone or reaching out to someone. We're like, oh, I'm not ready. But you do not have to be ready. As long as you're open with that, you can contact the factory and go, hey, I haven't got my design tech packs, but I'm working on it. I am interested in what you can offer. And I'm sure they will be happy to talk to you. And this is a way for you to also scan what actually will work for you and who will be suitable as a partner. So just reach out, and it's a partnership. But yeah, before you are ready to start your sampling, all the relevant documentation will be needed to be set in place. And that was advice on that. And I do have some more questions, but I don't want to take up too much of your time today. So I'm going to answer. Let me see here. I'm going to answer one more question that I've had to see which one fits the best into. Yes, this one I think is a very good one. So this one is from Alicia, and she is wondering, how do you minimize the sampling runs? So how do you avoid a lot of samples? And that's a very good question. Like one answer is to make sure you learn about this process. You can learn about production way before you're ready with your design tech packs and ready to send them to a manufacturer. I mean, the earlier, the better, because it's all of a process, right? There's so many things that goes into this process. It is getting your colors. and fabrics rights, it is about sourcing, it is about quality control. So there's a lot of approval aspects, and it's about keeping timelines. So all of this, the earlier you have all this information, the more in control you will be, and the less samples you will have. I mean, figure out what is important in, for example, a tech pack. I saw an example recently where it was I think it's good tech pack, but maybe it wasn't optimized for a small brand because there was a lot of information everywhere. Maybe think of that, look at your tech packs and improve those. Also, what you should make sure and have learned is that maybe it's not a design drawing is one thing, technical drawing is another thing. You can create so many things at the start and prep and be prepared and know your way around the land. And all of this is the biggest lesson I can give you, is to learn how the process works and where you can stay on top of things. And the earlier you do this, the less samples you will have. And that is just, if you have a confusing tech pack, you will have more samples. If your size specification and your grading is not on top, you will have more samples. If you are not sure about your design concept 100% and you're not sure about your colors, that is going to delay, because you're going to ask for a new fabric swatch to approve. You're going to have to maybe realize that the colors that you decided on don't work together when you see them in real life on the right fabric. There are very many aspects, but the more you know about the process and you know where this can also happen, you can calculate for that risk. So last chance for anyone out there to ask a question. I will email the people I haven't answered the questions for today, but I'm not going to keep you guys for too long. But it's lovely to see that there's so many people here live listening. And I'm just going to scan one. So this is your chance. Remember now, if you have any startup questions, please go ahead and ask them now. And before we end on this, let me just go back to there. So before we end on this, I also want to tell you about the course that opening cart now. And if you have taken the mini course, you know who I am, you know my style. If you haven't, I think you still have a tiny bit of time on the link above to actually watch the lessons, but it's disappearing very, very soon. So if you want to read more about the course I'm now going to offer you, you can also follow the link, and there will be lots of information about it. So I have created this amazing resource for anyone who wants to start up. And as I've already said, you do not need to learn about production as an afterthought once you go through it. I would recommend that you teach yourself about all the different aspects and all the different steps that you have to go through when it comes to sampling. How do you even communicate back when you have samples? I mean, I can take an example. I have a client, Claudia, who came to me, and she was all good. Like, she had done her tech packs, size specs, found a manufacturer. She felt like it's pretty good. And then she got her samples and she got super overwhelmed and just felt like, this is not what I had expected. It doesn't look like what I thought. I don't know where to start. And had she had some of this information prior, she would have known that most of the time your first sample will not come in the correct color, for example. So that is the overwhelm and the stress I want to help relieve, because I have worked in this industry for many years. I've had crises where I've worked for big companies where, oops, all the dresses fell apart somewhere along the quality control line. Somewhere there was human error, but we had to do recalls of many thousands of garments, and it happens, and things happen in fashion and in any industry. But to have knowledge helps you avoid this. I mean, when I had my own fashion brand, for example, even though I had already worked in the industry for a while and I came from a fashion degree, when I started my own brand, there were so many things I hadn't had to think about when I was working as product developer for other brands, because I was working on a certain amount of styles and with one factory and had more of a control. And then suddenly I used more than one factory, and I realized that the translation from 2D or 3D in my head to 2D and then 3D in their head wasn't as easy as I would have thought. So there's so many aspects, and this course is for you, for anyone who really want to make their fashion brand and start a fashion brand and make it a reality. This is to help you avoid all of these stresses and the overwhelm and the panic when you open up your first sample and you don't know how to even communicate it back to the factory, what changes you want to make and how to make them. So that's from me to you. This is the reason behind this course, and that is what I want to give and what I hope that will help a lot of people. And I mean, there's lots of testimonials you can read. People have taken a beta version of this course and it had lots of great feedbacks. I had feedback that you learn more in 10 weeks in this course, Master the Textile and Garment Production. So it's not only for garments, you can do textile products for home interior or baby products or any type of fabric product with the basic of this production and how it works. But yeah, I had feedback that one of the students learned more in these 10 weeks, or the same, similar things, but as in a university degree that she had taken years before. So there's a lot of knowledge, and there's a lot of other designers who have taken the course and have told me that even though they have been working in the industry, but they've been working more on the creative side, they opened their eyes to a lot of manufacturing issues and also a lot of manufacturing solutions. So how they could avoid and help their clients better. So I hope if you want to look at any testimonials or you got any questions for me, you can reach out and I'm happy to answer them. And just to let you know, there's amazing bonuses. If you took my course from design concept to manufacturer, there is an email that I sent you with an amazing early bird bonus. And for anyone else who will also jump onto this, I think there's about 3 hours left on that offer, the early bird offer, but anyone else as well. That is my new mentoring package. I've created a new mentoring package where I offer 3 one-hour sessions, one on production, one on marketing, and one on sales, so that you can really narrow down everything early. And yeah, there's a lot of other amazing bonuses included in the course. You will get a great supplier list, which is part of my own list. And also, there's also some more mentoring offered, which you can take me up on. And that will be valid for the whole open cart. And the cart will be open for this amazing course until the 27th of October. So if you are interested and you want to learn everything about production, please send me a question, sign up. I mean, it's an amazing price. It's only $997 at the moment, and you can make a payment in installments of 3 installments. So give yourself the chance to make your brand succeed. I know for a fact that the knowledge that you will gain in this course will help you with the production side and get you from design to production with less hiccups. But yeah, any questions? Anyone out there has any questions? Let me just scan again before I let you all lovely people go. So yeah, if you have any questions for me or you want to learn more about my course, Master the Textile and Garment Production, you can read on the website about all the amazing bonuses. You can read about all the 10 modules over the 10 weeks, and you can take the course at your own pace. You do not have to follow along during the 10 weeks, but there will be opportunities within the course during the first 10 weeks to ask me questions and have my support. And after that, you can still keep doing the course and you will have lifetime access, so you can do it whenever you're ready. But yeah, I will say that the price is going to go up. This is a very special deal, and it's here until the 27th of October. So read more about the course. Come join me in there. I'll be happy to mentor you and get you through this course and make sure that you feel completely on top and self-assertive when it comes to your designs and getting them real and getting them to your warehouse. Like, you will be able to feel your vision come to life. And with all of that, I am going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to wish you a great day. And I hope to see you inside the course.